Oh, hello there. Thank you for popping by. Nice to see a friendly face again. So, I believe you've got some queries on how to build a drift car in automation and export it to beamng so you can drive sideways. Maybe a little bit like this. But luckily, I'm not going to ramble on too much. We're going to get straight into the stats of the car and how I got it to drive like that. And hopefully you can imitate it and do one yourself. Let me know how it goes in the comments below. Anyway, enjoy the video. I hope it helps. Thank you very much. And here we have the Mafia drift car. It's got a beautiful wide body kit going on. But this car isn't actually fully detailed and styled yet. It's got a few bits going on, but I think for now it looks beautiful. Now I'm not going to waste any of your time. We're going to get straight into the stats and see how you can go sideways. So the engine in this car is a Boxster 6 magnesium driver cam 16 valve. Or would it be more than 16 valve? Yeah, because 6 times. Or yeah, whatever. Aluminium silicon, quality free. It's got a 3.8. None of this is really that important, to tell you the truth. It's the power and the curves. I've got my curve coming in before 3,000 revs. You've got a huge amount of torque sitting there and a huge amount of power. That's the sort of thing you want to be seeing. This one's pushing out 1,000 brake horsepower. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do it with less horsepower. It's all about how you tune the car. Now, I know there is some people out there who want to know what the actual engine is. So I'm just going to have a quick flick through all the stats so that you can see the engine stuff going on. We can have a look at the compression ratio and all the foul flowness. Looks like I can actually improve some of this. Yeah, cam profile and all that. The revs, we've got 10,000 revs, so it does rev very high up. BBL and all that. 2 turbos, that's what's giving us so much torque. Beautiful. Keep going on in direct injection. Yeah, all this was tuned. I've got ethanol fuel in my one. There we go. Yeah, dual exhaust. That's gone straight through. And that's it. That's the main engine. It does look beautiful. Of course, you can do any engine you want, as long as it's creating a lot of power, mainly torque. You want a lot of torque to spin that wheel. Wheels. So again, this is the car I have made. It is a sedan. I normally make some beautiful coupes, but this is a big fat boy sedan. I call it the Mafia drift car, and the style is going to be sort of like just blacked out gangster sort of thing. I've tinted all the back windows. Give it a black visor and things. And the main thing I want to point out in this area is chassis. This silver bit here in the middle of the car. If I try and take away maybe the details. Yeah, there you go. This was a lot less wider than it is now. Look at the body. It kind of almost at the point of peeking through the shell. Now, I've done that on purpose to give it a wider wheelbase. I think that really does help with the grip. And also it means I can stick the wheels out a lot further without messing up too much of the look of the suspension and that. Let's put it all back on. Put it all back on, please. Hey, put it on back on, thank you. So yeah, then the wheels were already sticking out. And then we changed that later on down the line. So let's look at what we got here. It is longitude rear-wheel drive doing 260 miles an hour top speed. Spacing, I put that very high up. You want to try and get good amount of spacing in your gears in third and fourth, around these sort of areas. You use 1 and 2 to get going, and 3 and 4 to do drifting mainly. Obviously, you can drift in the lower ones if you need to. It's a manual gearbox, 5-speed, geared LSD. It'd be nice if they put like welded option on here, just for the drifters, just so you have that fully locked on differential, and then you not really need loads and loads of horsepower. You can do it with a bit less. Quality has been put to 5, just to help with, you know, just the stats and that. The tyre choice I've gone for, which is going to be pretty important, people, is medium. Depending on your car's horsepower and things like this and how much grip it's getting, you might want to go down, you might want to go up. Obviously, harder, it's going to have less grip, sports have more grip. Now, wheel choice. This is also very important. You don't want silly wide back wheels because it's going to take a lot more for your engine to get it going. Same with the size of the wheel. The wheel is a lot smaller, like the diameter. I've got 16-inch here with the lowest possible tyres I could put on the tyre walls. And that is, the car's going to have a lot less trouble spinning. And this arc here is quite important. The bigger and nice smoother this arc in your steering, the easier it will be to hold it in a drift without it just oversteering loads. If it's got really sharp ends, it's just going to pop out and spin on you straight away without you being able to catch it. So you do that by changing the wheel size. I tend to stick around at 200 for the rear wheels and adjust the front wheel accordingly. I go down, so we do have a lot of oversteer, but the drivability is 97, so you can still drive the car perfectly fine. And we use a lot of torque to get the back end out, and then we power on through that. Keep in mind, I'm only using a TMX steering wheel, and I don't have a clutch or a handbrake, and I'm still able to drift this car. Alloy wheels. This is my braking. You can see they're almost equal, as in load, 50% and 51%. The rear one is a hell of a lot stronger than the front one, and that's because I want the rear one to lock in because I don't have a handbrake, manual handbrake. So when I use my foot brake, it's probably not meant to be used in the way I use it, but I use it to throw the back end a bit more out as like a handbrake. But I also do have a handbrake button set up as well. Anything else important? I've gone for all ceramic disc brakes just to help them not overheat. And I crank the size right up and then adjust accordingly. Now we're on the airflow. Why is this broken? This wasn't like this before. Normally I'd want the red a little bit further up. So what have we got? I've got not enough. I've got too much downforce in the rear. There's not very much downforce at all. What am I hitting? 16 kilograms? Okay, why is that now? It's obviously a very, very tight point. Okay, that will do. That will do. I have fixed it. We've got 4 kilograms of downforce. Barely any downforce whatsoever. If you look at the G's in the 200 meter corners, it's 0.9 G's. So that's quite little G's in the corner. So it won't want to stick. It will just want to bounce its bomb around the track. So interior, I've just gone for 2 seats, basic. I'm trying to keep the weight down off the car as much as possible so the car will have to stress less. I've gone for manual rack steering. The reason I've done that is if you're using a wheel, you will feel the car a lot more if you've got manual rack. If the electric steering, power steering, is just too light. I like the manual rack. It also uses the force feedback, throws it around a bit more, and pushes it in. I've gone for traction control and launch control and all that, and I turn this off straight away, basically. If you go for none in these sections, when you're in beamng, you don't get, you're in sports or comfortable. No, I don't want those. I want to be able to turn it off completely, so I'll go for this one. Quality free, standard. This is gives the weight again. I try and keep the weight down. Now suspension. I'm not too sure on how you really want suspension set up, but this works for me. So I've just gone for the progressive, semi-active on the sway bar, and it seems to work. I click on race straight away. I will drop the ride height down. Camber up to 7. Then not go more than 7. and then 3 degrees on the back. Now this car is quite cool because normally cars only go up to about 3 degrees, but this one will actually go further than 3 degrees. So you can go crazy with this sort of sets on this body. Yeah, that's all the same. I normally click the sway bar down. I don't know why it isn't on this one. I probably shouldn't touch it. I better break it now. Yeah, that's giving it a little bit more understeer, but kept the drivability where it is, which means we get a bit more of a curve to play with when we're drifting. My roll is 0.7 degrees. Now, this will depend on the drifter. Some people like a bit of bounce, and the car to sway a little bit, and they use that as the balance to play with. Mine's pretty stiff and just goes where I send it. So, that is the car. That's the settings. I hope it works for you. I hope I've given you enough details so you can build your car. If I've missed anything and you want to know, please don't be shy, do ask. But as you can see, we've got some thin wheels at the back, front, and moderate wheels at the back, and that helps us go slidey-slidies. You do want understeer on the front. I'm not sure if I stressed that enough. If it's too good at handling, you'll find you'll just end up going really slow on the spot, and you can't really push through the corners as well. With the car being able to understeer, you have to lock in that drift and then just force your way through the understeer and use that as a little bit of a jelly momentum, just keep you going. Now, on the drivetrain, we are looking at spacing. You do want to check you are getting a hell of a lot of wheel spin in most of your gears. If you're not hitting 90%, the car will flood a little bit. If you've got a clutch, it won't be as much of a problem. You can just drop your clutch, build up the revs, and get your drifts activated that way. But for me, without having a clutch, I need that power to either come in when I've used my handbrake and throw myself into corners, or I need the power to come in as soon as I put my foot down. This one's set up, so as soon as I put my foot down, that power within half a second will start spinning my wheels. When it comes to choosing a car, the length is fairly important. The longer the length, the easier it should be to hold your drifts. It's a very short wheelbase. It will turn very quickly and be very nimble. But in a drift car, you sort of want almost like a boat that you balance and float around corners. And also when it comes to the width, that also makes a big difference as well in the way it will handle in corners. I'm not sure on the body if it pops through yet, but I will do a video of the detailing of this. That won't be in this one, it'll be in a different one. But if you've got this far, please like and subscribe. I hope you make a cool drift car and let me know how it goes. Hope to see you in the beam world. Have a good day. Thank you very much. Love you all. So, I think I'm going to end the video there. I'm going to make it short and sweet so you can get those settings and dial them into your car. And hopefully you'll be going sideways too. Thanks very much for popping by. If this video helped, please like and subscribe and share it about. I'm a very new channel and hopefully I'm going to touch a few hearts when you realize you can go sideways now. Whee! Yeah. Catch you in the next one. Thanks very much.